And yes, we are back. Shout outs to us for making it back. You, me, all of us. I just got out the shower, so my eyes are hurting. I don't know why. But I wanted to react to this video, talk about it, and yeah, here we go. People are really mad at Diablo 4. Let's find out.
Hi, Scissorin here with another video, and today we're going to talk about a Twitter thread about battle passes, etc. It's a very interesting Twitter thread, and while I am technically taking the day off today, this was just too interesting for me not to make a video about. Now, it started out by a question on Twitter from a writer for Forbes saying, I did not do previous generation seasons, I don't really get it. I don't want to level season-specific characters from scratch, can I still use my permanent ones to progress the battle pass? No? Well then I'm not doing that. Long-term goal is to get everything to 100 and wait for expansion, I guess. I get the battle pass is a new aspect, so Rod. Hello, Paul. Yes, to take part in the seasonal questline, mechanics, seasons, or journey battle pass, you will need to create a new seasonal character. Playing campaign with a seasonal character if you so desire or need to finish will also progress the season journey and battle pass. So when I talked about our push after level 100, a lot of people said things like resetting a dungeon over and over again or doing the same content over and over again is an exploit and should be bannable, etc. And I replied things like, well, gotta remember, a lot of these people have never played an ARPG before. They don't know that this is just what you do in ARPGs. In fact, in every other ARPG. A lot of people thought I was being condescending or trying to be snarky. It just comes naturally to me to be condescending. I don't actually do it on purpose. I was actually being really serious here, because you gotta remember, with their ad campaign with like celebrities like Megan Fox and with brands like KFC, they've dragged in a whole new audience that actually have not played ARPGs before. And this thread is a
And I think that is the reality of that's the reality of playing Diablo 4. You know, Blizzard has to balance the game for people like a Forbes writer, the dad who has the kid who can only play once an hour, the person who's gonna play and copy their favorite streamer, the person who's gonna want to min-max constantly, the person who wants to play different builds, streamers who basically play 12, 14 hours a day. They have to take into account all of that, and this is my honest belief. I believe that because they're a business first, they're going to we already I think they're going to cater to whatever can get them the biggest bang for their buck, and that just comes with, you know, having a live service game that is not necessarily made for you in particular. You know what I'm saying? Like, the game isn't particularly meant for all the things I just listed type of people that play. It's catered towards the playing maybe 1 or 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day. Then you eventually clear the campaign after 50, 60, maybe 70 hours, maybe even more. Because remember, on the campfire, they said most people still have not cleared the campaign, even though that was like 2 weeks ago. They did say that. So, you know, it's the reality is the game is just not particularly in its base form, right? I think that's also important. In its current form, it's just not meant for hardcore grinders. I think that's when they released it, that wasn't their intention, to attract or to keep happy hardcore grinders. I think that comes with, you know, content and stuff, because they know how important streamers are to the viewership and people playing the game and stuff like that. So I just want to keep that in mind. The game is meant for so many different people. It's no wonder so many people have many complaints about the game.
A really good example of this. Here is one example. I'm a new Diablo player and a new dad. I have only 1 hour a day to play the game, if that. So my current character is only level 11. You're saying I should basically not even play this game, right? There's some miscommunication here. There are some people that think that their characters will get deleted or be completely irrelevant, and there's a lot of people that are just upset at the fact that they can't progress the battle pass with their turtle.
Basically, a lot of people who this is literally their first ARPG. So just to put that into perspective, it is a lot of people's first ARPG, and Blizzard has to account for that as they actually make content. Unfortunately, I mean, fortunately and unfortunately.
Characters. Now, being able to progress your battle pass with the eternal character is not the worst idea either. I actually think that would probably solve a lot of these problems. But if you look through the thread here, having to redo everything kind of sucks, which, you know, that's very core for ARPGs, right? There are also...
That's true, but I feel like it also doesn't have to be. I mean, honestly, if they just have more content in the game that you could do post 100 that contributes to Battle Pass, I think people would be happy with that. Because if most people just want to get a character to 100 of each class, which I'm sure most people won't even do that. They might do it over time, but most people will not even get to 100, in my opinion. They just want to have stuff you can do that contributes towards a battle pass. I think that would just be the right way to do it. But we don't know yet, so we can't really also go off of how they did Diablo 3. This is a totally different time. I want to say an era almost. So, you know, we just have to kind of play it by ear.
So loads of people in this thread, and this was the most fascinating thing to me. There are loads of people saying they're Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 veterans, and Diablo 2 and 3 did not have seasons. Whereas most of us who are actually ARPG players are like, huh? Then there's threads like this. There's no way this is going to apply with most of the player base. Hope you got a plan B for when MAUs drop 90%. Folks have no idea this is going to happen. When they get the battle pass and find out, they'll know quickly how bad of an idea this was, and hopefully have a quick way out of it that can be implemented within a couple of weeks. Otherwise, rip D4. This is like, as an ARPG veteran, like I have over 35,000 hours in ARPGs between Diablo 2 and Path of Exile. This is crazy to me. I didn't realize the...
And again, this is the type of people Blizzard... Like, look at this guy. I'm not making fun of the guy, but look at his profile picture. You know, it's him with glasses on as a selfie. His Twitter handle is Mike the IT guy. Just a normal guy. You know, this is a normal person, but there's people like this that definitely exist in wide capacity.
Out of touch cap or something between casual players and veteran players were so big, because I feel very out of touch because the entire thread is like this. This isn't like, it's mostly like, it's like 70% things like this, and then there's 30% ARPG players going like, but you bought an ARPG. They've always said they were gonna have seasons. And then you have things like this. Gotta be honest, as a new player, I don't see myself grinding like this again. If I have to start from scratch from season 1, I'm most likely done maining Diablo. So a lot, again, miscommunication. They don't know maybe that you don't have to do the campaign again. You don't have to do the Lilith statues again. You don't have to explore the map again. Now, a lot of people are saying they're going to play for season 1 because they've already bought the battle pass then, and maybe they just realized, wow, actually, that was a lot of fun, and they continue playing. But it'll be very, very interesting to see. I really want to like see how my audience feels about this, because obviously I'm assuming you guys will be a lot more biased towards me and be confused as I am and be like, huh? Because I've found it very weird that so many people didn't know that ARPGs had seasons and a full reset every 3 months. And Diablo 4 being even more casual friendly because it's not really a full reset. Here's another one. Then why the hell am I playing this game right now if literally all the time I've spent is officially less than irrelevant? What exactly?
I mean, that is every game. In my opinion, that's every game. You play the game to set goals for yourself, and then it's up to you if you accomplish them and how you go about accomplishing them. That's just It's not how. I mean, that's just games in general. So I'm not really too sure what people are expecting.
Exactly is the point of the base game. I feel like this user just touches on the whole point of gaming, right? If you're not enjoying the time you're spending while you're spending it, then gaming as a whole is a waste of time for you, right? Like,
And I mean, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with like gaming and like with balancing gaming with a lifestyle. Like if it's like a legit, hobby, but not an obsession, but like a legit hobby, something you can spend 1 or 2, 3 hours, get something from, come, feel satisfied, and it doesn't like have a negative impact on your life. I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. But the obsession with like time and what am I doing with my time? Why am I playing your game? Why are you? What like what did you think? I don't understand. Did you think someone was gonna like congratulate you when you hit level 100 or I don't understand. Honestly.
I'm not thinking now that I'm 34 that I'm regretting playing Gaia Online when I was 12 years old because I no longer play it. Right? So, either you're enjoying it in the moment or gaming as a whole probably isn't for you, right? You're not making permanent progress in your life unless you turn it into a job. It's a very fascinating thread. It's pretty much all like this. Unfortunately, very clear that many did not know what they were signing up for. It's been a very fascinating read. I read like probably 100, 150 different comments now, and my mind has been blown. While obviously I made it clear that I knew that there was a lot of casual audience enter the genre for the first time, did not think it would be.
I was going to continue leveling my character tonight, only at 53, but this really demotivates me from playing. I play a lot of Destiny and I just don't have the drive to start over for seasonal content. I mean, the problem is you play Destiny. Destiny does demand a lot of time. But I think this guy might have a little FOMO because I mean the game's not going anywhere. You can why would that demotivate you? That means you don't have any goals in the game, you're just mindlessly playing.
Be levels of this magnitude. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Sub if you liked the video, but more importantly, try to die less than I do.
Real interesting. The big caveat, I just want to kind of put this out there. This is kind of like a tangent rant type of ordeal that's about to transpire. The truth is, Diablo 4 is just because it's new and it is really fun, it is just going to be criticized a lot because the more you play something, the more you play something, the more you run into small problems that eventually become big problems because they are so reoccurring. Think about it like this. If you've ever played League and you've actually like played, so you've played in like bursts, like hours, like game after game after game after game after game. In hindsight, those big bursts feel terrible because you run into the same reoccurring problems way more often. The other team has someone OP, someone on my team is inting, someone on my team is AFKing, someone on my team is throwing the game. But if you actually, space it out, you realistically, it just feels like you run into the problem way less often. Even if, every game is some kind of clown fiesta. It's not so like condensed, so it's not as bad. You get what I'm saying? So because Diablo 4 is so fun, the small problems that the game has, but it has a bunch of small problems, right? Because at the core game is still fun. Regardless, no one's gonna, campaign is fun, core game is fun, right? But because there's just so many small problems that just compound and compound after you just play consistently and excessively. It just feels like, oh, this game sucks, and then the criticism just kind of piles up really fast, and it leaves a lot of people just unhappy in general because in my and again, this is just my opinion. What I see a lot of people doing, a lot of people are comparing their Diablo 4 experience to other people, other people's experience, and it's upsetting them. Like, so many people, excuse me, were getting upset over, build variety. In my opinion, how can you be upset about build variety when you haven't even tried the build out for yourself? Like, think about that for a second. You're upset about build variety in a game with 5 different classes so far. You have not even experienced it. You've only just seen someone else play the build, or some clip that kind of is extrapolated because someone who has been playing 100 times more than you is using a certain particular build. And now that you've seen that, it somehow makes your experience less valuable. That seems to be the loop, and I think it's just that's just not what, in my opinion, that's not what ARPGs are about. I think you should honestly want to explore, test things for your own. You should just want to do it by yourself. Like, you should just want to, actually play the game, experience certain things without hearing it from someone else, without needing to complain to someone else, without needing some, like, what's the word? Some validation that the game sucks, or that this sucks about the game and it ruins the fun for you. I don't understand. Like, there's like this crazy amount of hate for Diablo 4. But again, I just kind of highlighted why. The game is super fun when you play it nonstop. You just run into these problems, and then the problems kind of are more glaring, and it's kind of weird. But I'll kind of leave it at that. Anyways, that was a fun video from Ziz. Not too long. I enjoyed it. But yeah, that's the video. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna try to do more D4 stuff because I like the game. I like discussing the game, but there's not really anywhere to discuss the game, so I'll try to just do what I can. Anyways, take care. Tell someone you love and appreciate them. I appreciate you guys watching. Tell someone you love them. Peace.